figure out a different approach and then try to approach it on some different shit, and that shit ain't work. That's why I'm back on my baby Jesus shit, you feel me?
But seriously speaking, it looked like for a while DaBaby just couldn't get a break. Firstly, he was the target of a pretty tough home invasion, which actually
Texas too.
left one man shot.
When I come around this corner, somebody getting shot. My brother, he either somebody fighting with him or, you know, they done ran somebody running up in her. You feel me? So I come down the hallway. Okay. Come down the hallway. Turn the corner like James Bond. Bam!
He also was filmed getting pepper sprayed outside of a Gucci Mane show.
Yeah, they pepper sprayed the hell out of me.
What's that?
They pepper sprayed the hell out of an innocent man that night. That shit hurt.
You got pepper sprayed?
Hell yeah.
And in this hilarious moment where he was filming a music video in another state, a couple of local goons roll up on him and try and press him, asking for a permission slip to film in their hood.
Who signed your permission slip?
Ain't nobody signed a permission slip for me. Mm-mm. Huh?
You gotta see some.
Oh yeah? I ain't know that. Okay.
This last one is actually part of a long-running trend in hip-hop. When rappers blow up to the point where they start touring nationally and playing shows in different states, usually the local goons and gangsters will try and muscle in on the action, and often will try and gain clout by telling rappers that if they want to come to their city, they need to check in and get a permission slip. Rapper 6ix9ine was able to play up to this and boost his clout by routinely playing into this concept and dissing local rappers that were suggesting that he needed to check in.
I don't check into nobody, you know what I'm saying?
And with that in mind, I just want to make it very clear that if any rappers want to play a show in Bognor Regis, you're going to have to check in with me, cuz.
Are you ever afraid that you're going to be there?
Oh no! Oh no! He said cuh. Bro, you can't do
Hassle.
Oh, my man said cuh. You're gonna have to check in with me, cuh. Oi, bruv. Oi, bruv, I'll fucking shank you. Oi, in it. I said cuh, in it. I know he's joking. It's just so funny.
The victim of a clout chaser?
Nah, a clout chaser gonna be my victim.
In the face of all these constant G-checks and threats, who would have thought that it was this incident at a local Walmart that would leave a 19-year-old man dead and DaBaby being thrust into the national spotlight?
That's real sad.
This incident
though.
happened at the Huntersville Walmart in North Carolina at
Oh
around
my
6:30
God! He
p.m.
did not just title this "Shootout at the
Huntersville
Walmart."
Walmart in North Carolina.
Okay, dude. Come on, dude. This is like someone got killed, dude. I mean, I don't want to. Is the video on there? Like, can you see it? I feel like this dude's style is that like it is so far beyond the pale, pun intended, that like it rolls back around and he like recognizes the irony of him, you know, speaking like this. No, it wasn't recorded. Okay, good.
Carolina at around 6:30 p.m. on the 5th of November 2018. This isn't actually the first time DaBaby has got in trouble at a Walmart. In fact, here's a clip of him drunk trying to shoot a music video in a Walmart at 6 a.m. that ended up with him getting arrested.
This is what it looked like when 6 drunk niggas try to shoot a video at Walmart at 6 in the morning. Well, we got a nice little wake-up call in the morning.
Story goes, DaBaby was in this Walmart with his baby mama and his 1-year-old daughter buying winter clothes. It was at this point that Jalon Dominique Craig, a 19-year-old, approached DaBaby in the kids' clothing section of that Walmart, pulled a gun on him, and said that he needed to check in.
We came back down here to check it. They like, yeah, come outside. And then they clutch it. They clutching, hands in the pockets.
Yeah.
They was in there with that iron. You get what I'm saying? But, you know.
So when you got outside?
We ain't go outside, Charlamagne.
Oh, it didn't even get that far?
Nah, that's what I said. That ain't how it happened when you sit in the parking lot. That ain't how.
So it was in Walmart?
Yes.
And more breaking news tonight at 5.
Okay, that's fucking nuts. They're like, that's crazy that someone just like walked up to him with a gun.
Fun fact, Lennon
and was like, you know, asking him to check in for his city, and he just shot him. That's insane, dude.
Police have identified the man shot and killed inside a Huntersville Walmart as 19-year-old Jalen Craig.
Some of the details about what went down immediately after the gun was pulled are unclear, but legend has it DaBaby pulled out 40 that he keeps on him and fired 2 to 3 shots. One of them hit the victim in the stomach and killed him. In fact, a grisly picture even emerged of the victim laying in a pool of blood at the Walmart. I obviously can't show you this on YouTube, but it is easily found with a Google search. And if I learned one thing from looking at that image, it's that I do not envy the cleanup team working in Walmart that day.
Attention staff, we have a code yellow. A G-check is taking place in aisle 4.
Could we have a clean up in aisle 4? There's been a major spillage.
Yeah, that's how the fucking North Carolina Walmart announcer sounds, dude.
People
Jesus
reported
Christ,
that
this dude is like,
the shooting was a result of a fight
someone
taking
died,
place
bro.
between
Like a 19-year-old kid died, dude.
around
Holy
5 people in
shit.
the store. But there was no security footage to support this, and no evidence of a fight seems to have ever.
It's a bit of a cheeky spillage, in it? Oi, bruv. It was a fucking murder, yeah? I'll shank you. I'll fucking shank you, bruv.
Surfaced. Also, many false reports came out suggesting that this death was a result of a shootout in the parking lot. The local news reported extensively on this story, and one reporter even got so excited whilst interviewing the chief of police that she couldn't help but give him sloppy toppy while he was still speaking to reporters.
He believed had been involved in a shooting inside of the Walmart.
Surprisingly, DaBaby responded in an Instagram live the next day.
That footage come out and show y'all how I was in there with my 1-year-old daughter, my 5-year-old little nigga, my baby mama, on some family shit. And these nigga walked up on me, tried me, whipped out on my whole family. A lot of you niggas owe me an apology, dog.
Then a day after that, he popped up on Instagram once again to offer condolences to the victim of the shooting, as well as clearing up any rumors that he was using this incident to promote his new release.
Condolences goes out to the other parties involved.
I can totally understand why people would be upset about somebody using a terrible tragedy to promote their album. But we all know it works. I mean, who could forget after the real Hannibal Lecter was caught after a 12-person murder spree, and it all turned out the whole thing was just a ploy to promote his new album, Hannibal Till You Fall. However, in spite of his claims that he wasn't using this incident to promote his music, only 3 days after that shooting happened, he dropped his new music video, No Tears.
Kind of ironic that you made fun of the idiot that died of corona, but not the idiot that tried to G-check someone at Walmart. Just saying. No, I think it's really fucking stupid. Yeah, no, he got absolutely his shit clapped. And you know, I don't really feel too bad. He fucking pulled a gun on someone in a Walmart in front of his fucking family members. You know. But you know, someone still died there. So.
Which featured a pretty extended intro sequence that featured loads of clips from the news reporting on the killing.
And we begin with that breaking news about a deadly
Not someone, DaBaby. True.
inside the Huntersville Walmart.
Was shot and killed inside a Huntersville Walmart.
People who were inside that Walmart say it was a chaotic scene yesterday.
It's also worth noting that in these clips, he actually did include moments that suggested that the shooting had taken place after a fight. Now, I don't know whether this was a red herring to throw people off of the idea that it was a fight, or whether this is DaBaby essentially confirming.
It does seem interesting that he chose to bring that up. It seems like he's been holding that in for a while. Maybe he got mad that a fucking white supremacist cop got killed. Well, not killed. A white supremacist cop literally fucking killed himself after routinely talking about how, you know, COVID was fake and that he had a strong constitution so it wouldn't happen to him. And only pussies died of COVID. And then he fucking died. You know? It's a little bit different than, I don't know, like a fucking 19-year-old idiot who got caught up in his socioeconomic conditions, who then turned around and like did something incredibly fucking stupid that ended up getting him killed. You know, imagine trying to actively compare the two because you're so fucking butthurt by, again, a cop who was like literally agitating others around him. No, they both really deserved it, lol. Just thought it was ironic. No, I don't think you thought it was ironic. I think that you, again, want to you want to hear me. Some of you chatters want me to like shit on 19-year-old black kids who behave in stupid ways sometimes, and some of them get murdered as a consequence of that. You want it because you haven't been able to let go of your like edgy ways of you know, your edgy like kind of white supremacist ways that you learned on like the Reddit circles that you were in. And that's what it is. You held on to it for a long ass time. You think it's fun. You think it's funny. The cop dying is probably funny to you too in some ways of COVID. But this one, you're like, please go ham on this kid. Like, go ham on this 19-year-old. Like, please, I want to feel better. Just curious, bro. Come on. Come on, bro.
that a fight did take place before the shooting. DaBaby was reportedly arrested for carrying a concealed weapon, but these charges were later dropped. This is an interesting tidbit because when you go back and look at some of the footage where DaBaby is talking about the incident, he doesn't necessarily take responsibility for the shooting, but he often just mentions the gunshots that saved his life.
And if them gunshots ain't go off, nigga, motherfucking daughter could've got hit. Son could've got.
It's also wild that there was only one dude with a gun. Your microphone is a bit robotic. Wait, really? What is happening? I don't know what's wrong with my mic, boys. It could be. I mean, maybe it is. It's not? Okay. It's Twitch, not your mic. It's picking up some ringing sound? No, there's no ringing sound.
Hit me.
Now, what's most likely is that he's just using clever wording for legal reasons so that he's not necessarily implicating himself in anything beyond a self-defense shooting. But on the other hand, there have been some suggestions made on the internet that he actually wasn't the trigger man in the shooting. Whilst we're talking about the legalities of self-defense shootings, it's worth noting that North Carolina actually does have the controversial stand your ground law, which means that under reasonable circumstances, the duty to flee a dangerous situation are removed, allowing you to essentially by law stand your ground and defend yourself with deadly force. There's actually an amazing moment in DaBaby's interview with Charlemagne at the Breakfast Club when he's asked whether or not the police ever get tired of seeing him on these self-defense charges. And he comes back with one of the realest things I've ever heard a rapper say.
Hey, do we get tired of seeing them on 8 self-defense charges?
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's play fair.
Well, the shooting actually seemed to do wonders for DaBaby's career, and it cemented his reputation as a real
Is there a slight ringing when I'm talking, or is there a slight ringing when it's like when the video is going on? It's not coming from me then.
Dude in the hip-hop scene, as well as bringing a whole lot of extra attention to his music. He went on to sign with Interscope in January of 2019, dropped his debut project Baby on Baby, which featured the smash singles Shug and Babysitter. In addition to that, he also became the first rapper to violate Nardwuar the Human Serviette and turned him into Nardwuar the Human Wallet.
Yeah, that too. Give him the ski, give him the ski, bro. He tripping.
Essentially, DaBaby seems to have an uncanny ability to finesse every bad situation into a victory. In fact, this situation seems to have worked out so well for DaBaby, and he was recently offered a lucrative 7-figure endorsement deal from Walmart themselves.
Shut the fuck up. No shot. That's not real, right? Okay, dude. Okay. God damn it. This son of a bitch. Fucking Christ. Okay, that was...
I hope you enjoyed that video.
Okay, that was fucking... You son of a gun. Anyway, okay.
If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe below. Hit the notification bell so you can see every single time I upload. And if you want to support the channel more...
Watch his Pop Smoke video? I kind of want to. The lyrics that could get CJ killed. Oi, bruv, I'm trapped little Russ, bruv. Oi, what are you fucking doing then? Oi, TK got fucking 55 years for the race, bruv. It's like, this is the weirdest fucking demand from chat. Watch some LSF, man. Like, it's like the fucking bottom tier content. Okay, Lil Krish, especially. The one that the Lil Krish is like constantly fucking crying.
You're wearing as a necklace. Very progressive Turkish Muslim. Ha 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 ha. Halal.
Like, why? Why do you want that so bad? Anyway. I don't want to finish this because it's like really poor quality. The case of Senator Ralph Shorty.
There's no shortage of conspiracy theories regarding the illicit activities of those in some of the highest positions of power. These theories range from secret cults dedicated to human sacrifice, all the way to the insertion of lizards as world leaders. While we may never be able to determine the veracity of reptilian conspiracy theory, what is true is that time and time again we see people who are in a position of power have dark deeds come to light.
Is this the Oklahoma guy? Is this this is the Oklahoma senator who was caught with like a fucking underage male, like underage minor that he was like sex trafficking, right? Spoilers. Come on, dude. What
Ralph
do you mean?
Allen Lee Shorty was born in the oil city of Casper, Wyoming in February of 1982 and spent the early years of his childhood in South Dakota before moving to Oklahoma City.
I'm a fucking political commentator, dude. Like, Jesus Christ,
He
dude.
attended Westmore High School and later Heartland Baptist Bible College in preparation for mission work in Uganda. Shorty married his high school sweetheart in 2002 and decided to enter the oil and gas industry, forgoing his initial aspirations as a missionary.
Love you, Hassan.
Over the next 8 years, Shorty worked as a production consultant and stayed involved politically as a volunteer for the Republican Party, up until 2010 when he quit his job to pursue the Oklahoma State Senate. Shorty won the election, campaigning on family values, despite placing second in the initial Republican primary. He served over the next 7 years, including a re-election in 2014. In his time in the Senate, he became known as a staunch conservative, pushing bills targeting illegal immigrants and the expansion of gun rights. Additionally, he regularly voted with other Republican Party members to pass bills targeting gay and transgender people, including a measure passed in 2017 that would allow business owners to discriminate against gay people. Despite fitting in with his colleagues, Shorty was never able to finish his second term, as a result of the situation we're about to explore. Just after 1 a.m. on March 9, 2017, police were called to Super 8 Motel in Moore, Oklahoma, in order to do a welfare check on a 17-year-old juvenile. A witness had seen the boy get into a white Jeep Cherokee with an unknown man and watched the pair enter room 120 at the motel complex. The witness told the father of the boy, who shortly thereafter notified police. Upon arrival, the police identified the car in question nearby and knocked on the door of the room asking the pair to come out. The man, later identified as Ralph Shorty, did not open the door and asked why the police were there. Shorty outright denied that there was a 17-year-old juvenile in the room, and after a few minutes of back and forth, the police acquired a master key and let themselves in. The following limited footage of the confrontation has been released, with sections omitted given they depict the minor in question.
Come out.
I'm right here. Hey,
Come out before you get me worried. Show me your hands.
Okay.
Take a seat on the...
What's going on?
What's going on with you, man?
Just trying to have
a good time? Yeah. What's your name?
Ralph.
Ralph what?
Shorty.
You got an ID, Shorty? Shorty doesn't sound like a last name to me.
It's my last name.
Shorty?
That's one of your state senators, brother. What the fuck do you mean? And a conservative one at that, so he's probably your biggest ally, brother. You fucking kidding me? Just because you don't know any better doesn't mean... Just because you don't know any better doesn't mean that, you know, it's not important for you, for your career. Probably voted for him, yeah.
And then you grow like
down
10
the line,
feet?
brother. I don't know.
It kind of doesn't work, does it?
I'm sorry, guys. You're kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we do. He's 17.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
I didn't know you.
Okay. But you got a 17-year-old hanging out with you.
I mean...
Dad's worried, and... You understand that?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay, you got ID on you? Is there any other drugs in here other than weed?
No, there's nothing.
Is there any guns in here?
No, sir.
Okay.
It should be noted that Shorty's t-shirt depicts a sandwich and the text, "Now go make me a sandwich," alongside a Bible quote, Ephesians 5:22, which calls for wives to submit to their husbands.
Can you show me that he's only 17?
No, I can't, but I can convince you that he is.
Well, yeah,
I can put you in handcuffs and throw you in the back of a car. Okay,
right.
let's see an ID real quick.
Wait, this cop is like, how jovial, dude. This is called, I'm gonna fucking arrest you technique. Where, when the uncooperative suspect decides to, you know, flex the fact that they are white and also conservative in Oklahoma and a state senator, a cop can just say, hey, I'm gonna fucking arrest you. I guess this is exciting for Oklahoma. I mean, it's if you remember the Daniel Holtzclaw case and what we found out afterwards, I'm surprised that the cops weren't the ones who were doing the abuse here in this circumstance.
We didn't just show up here. Thanks, sir. You can take a seat back on the bed. I'm gonna go give this back to them. Oh, I don't know. I'm telling you, he's 17. Like, I wouldn't lie to you. Like, what sense does it make me lie to you? But listen, whatever you're doing, it's a bad fucking idea. Does that make sense to you? Like, getting high with a young kid, whatever, is a bad idea. No matter how, if they're 17 or 20, like, it's a bad idea. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you want to have fun by yourself, if you got things you got to figure out, you need to figure that out, and you can live your life however you want to live it. But when you start doing it with kids and stuff, then it starts to become a serious, serious problem. Because listen to me, like, if he was a couple years younger, you'd be going to prison. You understand what I'm saying? With no strings attached. We'd be blowing this door up and we'd be taking you in our car. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to be careful about what you're doing out there. Just like he really needs to second guess his life choices. But you do too, because you can get yourself in a bad, bad fucking spot. Do you understand?
Bro, he's 17, dude. Like, what do you mean examine his life choices, bro? What life choices? He's literally 17. Now, I just want to point out something here, because I know there's a lot of chatters who love defending, or who love attacking the age of consent laws or defending age of consent laws in Oklahoma. It's specifically, in Oklahoma, it's 16 is the age of consent. Okay? So, the kid is 17, but I believe when it comes to sex trafficking, or when it comes to like hiring someone as a prostitute, if you're under the age of 18, like, it's already illegal, but if you're under the age of 18, it's like super illegal. Pointing that out for all the chatters who want to fucking jump and be like, it's fucking, dude, it's still it's fucking 16 in Oklahoma, dude. Very weird to say.
Yee.
A super crime. Thank you. Yes.
Understand that? Does that make sense?
At the scene, the officers found an open box of condoms, a laptop, and a bottle of hydrocodone in Shorty's backpack, but he was not arrested following the incident, given the age of consent in Oklahoma is 16. In the time following, police interviewed the juvenile, who admitted he had known Shorty for approximately a year prior, and that they had met through a Craigslist personal encounter ad that read something like the following, later obtained by the FBI. The poster of the Craigslist ad is seeking men, the younger the better, for a bromance, with legal in parentheses. Police ascertained from the victim that Shorty went by the alias Jamie Tilley, and that he had known the victim was underage from the moment they started communicating on the messaging app Kik. Police were able to retrieve the conversations from the victim's iPad and read the following exchange from that very night. Because it included the mention of payment, this exchange alone changed the situation from a very odd event that would shatter Shorty's image to a federal crime that would shatter his life. The conversation continues with logistics of both parties meeting up, and sickening exchanges that I don't care to read out loud, but which can be read from the FBI affidavit linked in the description.
Need a boy for bromance, looking for younger, better legal to younger, looking for younger, the better legal, in parentheses, white or mixed. Easiest way to communicate is Kik.
The Kik chat record was able to provide minute-by-minute recount of Shorty making his way to the home of the victim where he picked him up. Additionally, the witness was able to identify the arrival of Shorty as taking place at the exact time his "I'm here" text was sent. Police also identified the Jeep Cherokee as being registered to Shorty through the state of Oklahoma, and found that the motel room was paid for by Shorty with a company debit card from his consulting firm. This allowed investigators to connect the Jamie Tilley alias to Shorty, which was crucial, as we will later see is his main objection. Approximately 3 days after the incident, the Cleveland County Court filed a warrant for his arrest for the crime of engaging in child prostitution, among other supporting charges. Shorty was called on his cell phone and asked to come in for questioning. What's important to keep in mind as this interrogation proceeds is that Shorty has been a member of public office for 7 years at this point while keeping his secret hidden, and is clearly used to lying and deceiving. The problem here is police have essentially irrefutable evidence of a crime, and outright denial does little for his defense.
This is what is known as the Matt Gaetz technique.
Pay attention to the demeanor and tone of the detectives in the early portion of the interview, because there's a striking difference throughout the remainder.
Come here if you don't mind. I can see right there.
Nice to finally see Hasanabi react to true crime.
So other than this, you doing all right today?
Yeah,
all right. First off, let me start off with saying
I've got a little bit of a blood pressure issue.
Okay.
So just if I get a little lightheaded.
let me know. Yeah. Let us know. You want a glass of water or anything?
No, I'm fine.
First off, free to go anytime you want. You can stop talking to us anytime you want. No big deal. Just say, hey, done talking, and we're done talking, okay?
Bro, they didn't even sit between him and the door, dude. I guess that's because he's like a fucking, again, state senator, so they just like don't want to embarrass him too much or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
And we'll let you out. Let us know if you have any blindness, head, anything like that. Any medical attention, we'll get you out of here and get it for you real quick. All right,
Fucking Oklahoma
just
audio.
what's your last name again?
We gotta pee.
Alright. Well, like I said on the phone, I guess, had some officers contact you at Super 8 on March the 9th, I think it was, real early in the morning.
Yeah, Wednesday night, I think.
And so that's what we're here to talk about. Why don't you tell me what transpired there?
Well, we were inside talking, and we heard a bang on the door. I honestly didn't know who it was. Couldn't see through the keyhole or the peephole. And so, the young man I was with, I know has, I've known him for, we've been talking. He's come to the coffee shop that I operate a couple times. I've even had him over to my house, play video games before. Had no idea. Told me when I first met him that he was 20. And so when they first got there, I didn't know what the issue was. Didn't know if it was, somebody trying to get in or what.
Mm-hmm.
So, I asked them, they said it was a wellness check or something like that, and I said, hey, I'm fine. And they were persistent, and then I could finally see a badge on one of them. And then they said that there was a minor inside the room. Obviously, I had no idea when I first met this young man. He told me he was 20 years old. Like I said, we've been talking on the phone for a while. He, in fact, for a few months, even told me that he went to California to try to get in the music industry or something. So that was when I opened the door. It just didn't make any sense to me why, there'd be
police there.
Actually, what I asked him was, I said, are you...
Came for the
Bro,
politics, stayed for the variety.
I know, like,
16
this is,
months
at
later,
this
here
point,
we
it's
are,
like
Hassel.
a cliche. We've seen so many people over-explain, which is like a classic thing that people do when they're caught in 4K. But I really do want to know how he's going to try to get out of this. How are you going to describe the situation you found yourself in? Where, like, what are you educating this child like at the Motel 8? What were you gonna do?
Minor. He said, no, let me go talk to them. I said, okay. And he went out there, and that's,
Deny knowledge of age, but I don't think that works. Actually, unfortunately, yes, in Oklahoma you can do that. That is a viable defense. However, in this case, he doesn't have that defense, considering that they, again, caught him in 4K, as in the younger the better, looking for a bromance. So, when you say that and you hire someone specifically by virtue of them being young as a prostitute, then, good luck. But yes, it is true. You can literally fucking use that as a defense that, oh, I thought that they were 18. They looked young.
I don't know what.
My man said he did say legal, though. Yeah. Ironclad defense, my friend. Never mind. He said in parentheses, legal.
They talked about, but I asked him to check his ID. So again, I've never even thought to ask him for his ID. There was no reason to. So anyway,
anyone who says your microphone is ringing has to send me a clip going forward. I just don't care anymore. I just want to hear what it sounds like, and I'll try to fix it. I don't know what the deal is. Okay.
I guess after that, one of the men, Sergeant something, I can't remember his last name. He's bald. He lectured me quite a deal. At that point, I was, again, blood pressure. I had to sit down. Couldn't even really. I don't even honestly remember what I said to him. A little bit, I think. And
the moment that you find yourself talking about your blood pressure, and that's the reason why you just couldn't be bothered to ask about the age of the person you were hiring as a prostitute. Like, wait, let's hear it. In parentheses, legal.
They talked about, but I asked.
In parentheses, legal. Send me a clip going forward. I just don't care anymore. I just want to hear what it sounds like, and I'll try to fix. There's literally no ringing. There is nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't hear it. You might have tinnitus, dude. Or like some sort of bad setting or something. I don't hear it. No, it's not. They actually aren't lying. This is the worst chat bit ever. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Get fucked. If you have shitty ears, like, sorry, sucks to suck then. Okay, how about that? Thank you, Betente, for the 28 tier 1 gift subs. Yeah, I don't care that your ears suck.
I just needed to not have a stroke. So I was caught off guard by that. I think they asked me at some point if they could search the room. I had my computer bag with me, and
maybe it's the audio compressor that you have on. Maybe you should turn it off.
I searched my computer bag as well as the room. As far as I know, there was nothing found. That was that.
In Shorty's opening 2-minute and 43-second monologue, he's done a couple things. First, he goes out of his way to mention that the kid told him that he was 20 twice. 2, says that he doesn't even remember what he had told police. And 3, brought up his blood pressure condition. Shorty has also completely brushed over the fact that police had to let themselves in, but given the scenario, the police will ignore that and push forward.
Okay. So they said pardon me. They said they smelled weed in the room. Were y'all smoking weed or anything like that?
I was not smoking weed.
Was there any in there?
No.
Okay.
I asked them to search. They wanted to search my bag. So I don't remember. I think he needed a place to stay for the night. Mm-hmm. He had a bag with him. I don't know if they searched that. Okay. I did not.
So did you stay there all night after the cops left? Or?
No, I left a little while later.
About what time?
I have no idea.
Okay. But you didn't stay until in the morning?
I wanted to make sure that I was okay to leave. Okay. And that was off.
So you say how long you known the guy?
It's been definitely over a year.
Okay. What do you know him by? What's his name?
Hagen.
Hagen, do you know his last name?
No.
Okay, guys, I don't care. I don't care if it's ringing in the end of my fucking conversation because the noise is still picking up the background noise of the fucking AC, okay? I don't care. I'm not going to turn off the AC and fucking sweat over here for your, like, 3-second minor inconvenience. So we are not fixing that, and we are moving on. So I literally don't care. I literally... Let me just make this as clear as possible. This minor inconvenience for you is not significant enough for me to turn off the AC in the background and fucking suffer, okay? Most people can't hear it anyway. So, I don't care. Okay, good.
No, honestly, don't remember. He's been over to my coffee shop a couple times.
I don't care.
The detective didn't say anything to prompt this coming response, just simply expressed passive disapproval since he knows Shorty is not being open and honest. Shorty, sensing this, will now launch into a monologue aimed to discredit the victim and aid his case.
I know that he had been arrested for drug dealing in the past. I know that he had dropped out of high school. He was trying to get a GED. I was trying to help him through that. In fact, when we first met, I was trying to help him study and things like that for the GED. And then when I lost contact with him for 4 or 5 months, when he went to California or wherever, I just assumed that he had, I didn't know that's where he went.
Well, how did y'all meet?
At the coffee shop. I'm pretty sure of that.
But what coffee shop are you talking about?
That's my guy. I own a coffee shop. It's called Holy Grounds Coffee.
Okay.
And 8613 Southwestern.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's how we met. I honestly don't remember. It's the only place I probably would have met the guy.
Fun fact, Ralph Shorty was also the state campaign chair for none other than Donald Trump in the 2016 presidential election. He was, of course, he did this as well, but that kind of goes along with the rest of the narrative, doesn't it?
So anyway, he's been over a couple times.
We met at the coffee shop. I'm pretty sure that it's the only place I probably would have met the guy. Shorty's trying to cover himself steps and not lock himself into any version of the story. Silent detective picks up on this. And we'll ask the same questions later on.
When he came back, he was, in fact, he told me he wanted to go be an anesthesiologist or something. And so you can't go without a high school diploma. You can't do anything without a high school diploma. And so, I know that the day after the incident happened, he was going to test for the GED. Strongly encouraged him to do that. And the night that he called me, he said he just needed to get out of his house. I'm assuming I thought he had told me that he lived with some friends. And he had told me in the past that, it was hard for him to get clean because he was always with his friends that are, living with him. And so, when he called and said he needed to get out of there, that he had to test the next day, then the choice was to bring him over to my house, which I don't think my wife would have appreciated that very much. She probably would have been okay with it, but I just figured it'd be easier just to get him a place. And then we decided to talk.
So far, Shorty is doing his best to paint himself as a savior, mentioning that the guy was arrested for drug dealing and that he doesn't have a high school diploma. Essentially what he's saying is that bringing him to a motel at midnight was an act of goodwill.
Thanks for the constant
Shorty has also lied about how they met, saying it was at his coffee shop when it was really on the internet. The detectives know this and are about to dig in.
Okay, so how do you text him or how do y'all communicate?
That's so nice of him, dude.
Usually phone calls.
Phone calls? Okay. Well, it's interesting because on his tablet he has a conversation that he says he had with you using an app called Kick. Do you know what that is? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there's a pretty lengthy conversation.
Good guy, Shorty.
That he says is with the guy that is you, that he that is online, or the Kick ID is Jamie Tilley. And you told officers that night that that's what your online.
He calls me Jamie, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. And anyways, so we've got a conversation between him and this Jamie Tilley about. He says, I need money for spring break. I don't really have any legitimate things I need help with right now. Would you be interested in sexual stuff? He says, yes. This goes on about how I come get you, blah, blah, blah. We go on. He says, he starts calling this guy Daddy. He says, hurry up, Daddy. I'm super horny. Hey,
That's
keep me up,
interesting.
Daddy, because I want you bad, Daddy. The guy named Jamie Tilley says I'm going to... This goes on and on and on and on. Well, then it gets to the end.
Bro, is this guy so fucking stupid that he doesn't realize that, like, they can literally dig in and, like, find what he said? Like, they can intercept his correspondences on the website? Like, yeah, I was educating him. I was educating this child. I was helping him out. That's why I got him in my room in a Motel 8.
Hassle.
This is Kay. I'll be down the street, a couple houses, in about 10 minutes or so. He says, okay. So I have let me know so I have an idea. Then that person says I-35 about to exit at 4th Street, and then it says I'm here. Well, we've got a witness. Pardon me. We've got a witness that sees him get in a white Grand Cherokee, and they follow that white Grand Cherokee to the hotel, first to 4th and Eastern at the gas station, and then to the Circle K. Yeah,
This is the gas station.
Yeah, at the gas station, and then to the Super 8 where the guy in the white Jeep Cherokee and him go in, check into a room, and then go back out and go into room 120. All right, and they sit there until the police show up, where she then calls his dad, and he the intern calls the police, and the police show up there to 120, knock on the door, and then you come out. So again, I ask, you told officers that you had online identity Jamie. This guy, Hagen, saying that he was talking to you. We got a witness picking him up at the same.
Most innocent Republican in Oklahoma, and also the least pedophilic Republican politician.
Same time that this message was sent saying I'm here, so I kind of got to say that Jamie Tilley's you.
Translation. We know it was you. We have you dead to rights. We have insurmountable evidence. Why don't we just speed this process up and you admit it? Let's see how Shorty chooses to react to that one.
It's not me.
It's not you. Okay.
We communicated by phone. There was no sexual intentions that night.
Okay. Yeah, anything here? So how did you meet?
The detective asked the same question twice, hoping to elicit a different response from Shorty, which then can be later used against him.
I want to say it was at our coffee shop.
Okay. So, like, he just walks in, you guys strike up a conversation, become friends?
Yeah, it's happened many times.
Invite over to your house. Has your wife met him?
I think so.
Okay. Now, you say he's come to your house several times to play video games?
I think just once.
Come to your house once to play video games, and then you guys met at the coffee shop a couple of times? Mm-hmm. Okay. What if I said that he told you guys met through a Craigslist ad the very first time? When he posted in cap.
Bro, he was just looking for a fourth for Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, dude. Like, it's not weird, officer. I needed a fourth for my co-op game.
Casual encounters?
No.
Okay.
This exchange alone gives a great insight to just how deep in denial Shorty is about his situation. He's used to lying and has been for years. Much more significant, though, is that when confronted with definitive proof of the situation, he resorts to the single
I will not give you any of my food.
word answer, no. A great litmus test to check if behavior is normal is to just imagine how an innocent person who had done nothing wrong might respond to that accusation. It might be a single word, but instead of no, it would be what?
Well, can I add this?
Mm-hmm. Is he legitimately underage?
Yeah.
10 months of
And he was the first time that you met him. And I said,
16.
I asked him, I said, hey, does he know how old you were? And he said, yeah, he knows, because we had a discussion about it, and at first he was uncomfortable with it, but then he finally got over it.
In this conversation, it says, she needs me to go to the store for her. My 3-year-old is sick. That's one of the things I've been dealing with tonight. We're not going to have enough time. Can we get together tomorrow, after 1? I'll get a hotel room or something if that would make it easier. It goes on talking about the coffee shop, my coffee shop. I'll be alone in about 10 minutes at my coffee shop. He says, can I help you with anything for spring break? Again, you said just customers, but I'll leave in here close to 8. Okay. I'll be your slave. That sounds nice. I mean, we go on and on. And how old is you?
Now, hold on now. What I was doing there was talking about the history in the United States of America. I was educating this child on that sort of thing. Okay, that's just that was what the fuck was going on. You know, it's just it's called education. It's called critical race theory. You misunderstood, brother.
My state, Kuwait.
No, he voted against the RT. Okay, well, you know, he's teaching him the devastating.
Youngest child.
5 months.
Okay.
Teaching him that it was wrong.
So he's telling me that when he first met you through Craigslist, that he had posted an ad in Casual Encounters, and that he had a lot of responses for it, but that you said that you wanted him to mess around with your wife while you watched. He said that he showed up to do that, or you guys got together and started talking about that. He found out your wife was pregnant, and then said
it's also called the Roger Stone special.
We were just
Look it
talking
up.
about GTA.
That it never happened because she was pregnant. So here's the deal, Ralph. You and I both know what the truth is, and the truth is not what you're telling us. We're not saying you're a bad guy. We're not saying you set out thinking that this is some 15-year-old kid you're going to go bang. We're not saying that. We're saying, hell, maybe you didn't know how old he was. I don't know. I think you probably did based on what he's telling me, but things are what they are. Tell us the truth. Get it out there. Let's get this over with, get this behind us so we can all move on.
Typically, a confrontation is saved for the later stages of the interview. Here, however, the extreme amount of evidence and the fact that Shorty is outright denying everything forces the detectives to go straight in. They pose the alternative question to downplay the scenario and restate the previous truths in a direct manner. Let's see if Shorty bites this time.
Telling you that.
No, you're not. You're telling us part of what happened, but you're not telling us what's going on.
You told the officers there that you had an online identity of Jamie.
He's talking about, you talk about in these texts when this Kick account, about your kids and your kid being sick and your coffee shop and that you got customers left and that you close at 8. I mean, it's clearly you. It's clearly
and we've got a witness that put you there. When you say...
I absolutely picked him up.
When you say I'm here, the witness is waiting down the street because she thought it was jacked up.
Why deny if it's legal? What am I missing? It's not legal, dude. Are you fucking stupid? Like, sex work isn't even legal. But, like, a prostitution of a minor is, like, super illegal, dude. Oh, my God. Some people in the chat have Oklahoma brain. I swear to God, they're like... Wait a minute. Did the parents sell the child? In which case, it should be legal.
She thought it was jacked up that he wouldn't tell her where he was going or anything like that. So she sits down the street and waits. And then she sees him going to the Super 8 hotel with you. And then she gets scared and wondering what the heck's going on. So she calls the police or calls his dad. And who in turn calls us. So here's the deal. We're trying to give you an opportunity, all right, to help yourself out here, all right?
It's worth noting the detective's use of you-facing language, which is a common persuasion technique. Frame the situation as, we are giving you an opportunity to sort this out. We want to help you.
We have a electronic. I mean, we have his device. These are just photos of it. We actually have downloaded the entire device now. So we have everything that y'all said that night. Everything. The thing about it is that tablet, once you sent the message saying I'm here, that tablet was never on the internet again. So the kid conversation couldn't delete. So we have the entire conversation. But yeah, you can look at it. We have the entire conversation because it never hit the network again. This is a bad deal. This is prostitution with a minor, prostitution within 1,000 foot of a church, which are both felonies, and then transporting for the purposes of prostitution.
Bro, that's so Oklahoma. What the fuck? Are you serious? That's illegal, dude. That's an aggravating principle. Dude, what the fuck is wrong with America, bro? Prostitution within 1,000 feet of a church? For the record, over 1,000 feet is not fine. It's just it's an aggravating, what is the term? Not a principle. It's just like, it's like aggravating factor. So you add like additional shit. It's like assault versus assault with a deadly weapon. You know what I mean? That's why there's a law for it. It's an aggravating factor for any offense? Wait, really? Bro, it's Oklahoma. The entire fucking state is covered then. Y'all been to Oklahoma? Like, very few areas are not within 1,000 feet of a church, dude. What the fuck?
Which is a misdemeanor.
I'm telling you, that's not me.
That clearly is you. Ralph, that's a lie. You're lying to us right now. That's clearly you. No one else. But daughter sick, coffee shop, I'm here and you're there. That's clearly you.
I don't know who else he could have been talking to.
This is the first and only time in the interrogation that the left detective loses his composure and shifts from his typical posture. Shorty may think the detectives are lying about evidence, but they know that they are not. Given this, the nature of Shorty's denial is so frustrating, it causes even a trained professional to break character. It's hard to blame him.
I agree with you. Nobody has a coffee shop and has a kid, sick kids, and all this stuff.
And showed up.
It's you. And here's the deal. He says it's you that he's talking to.
We call that the Steven Crowder technique, where your frame breaks in half, and you just start yelling over the other person you're talking to.
You show up with condoms. He shows up with lotion. I mean, that's
not true at all.
Yeah, there was condoms in your bag. The cop saw them.
That's just absolutely not true. I did not show up there for any sexual thing.
Well, then there's also weed that was in a green plastic container. Marijuana that was in a green plastic container with labels from Colorado. That was in the room.
Did you ever touch that bottle?
No.
So there's no way your fingerprints will be on it?
No.
Okay, because we have the bottle.
I don't know what to tell you.
He says, matter of fact, he says when the police knocked on the door that y'all were both smoking marijuana.
He said that he brought a gram and you brought a gram, and you guys rolled a huge blunt, and that you guys were planning on messing around, it just hadn't got there yet. And that he was going to do you a favor by whatever it was you guys were going to do.
Sorry, officers, I was educating him on the dangers of marijuana. The devil's lettuce.
And that you were going to do him a favor by kicking him some money for spring break. Ralph, like I said, we don't think you're a bad guy. We think you made a bad decision. There's a big difference.
It's just ironic because this dude is like mega conservative.
I just don't know why he would do that.
He's like super conservative and is like a member of like multiple church
I
groups
mean,
and
he's
shit.
17.
And literally turn around and like was fucking anti-LGBT. Why are all conservatives like this, dude? Like, so many of these fucking assholes are like, oh, party of family values, brother. That's why I think you should, you know, push away your LGBT daughters and sons from home. I love being a conservative. And then they like, I mean, Dennis Hastert is like a record holder for the longest serving Speaker of the House and is also a record holder for, you know, prolific sex crimes. So just think about that. He's a Republican. 2 grams in a blunt is fat, you filthy backwoods smokers. I don't know about that, but I do know the top of the hour is a fat ad break. And if you'd like to no longer see said ads at the ad break, all you need to do is subscribe, brother. You can do it for $5, or you can do it for free with a Twitch Prime, brother. Yeah, you know what it is. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month.
For 11 months.
You can also use an ad block. You can use VPN. Here's the ad break now.
Lie about that too.
Okay, well, for all practical purposes, let's say he did lie about that, all right? Jamie Tilley is you, and I can prove it. So, at minimum, you met with a guy at a hotel to pay him for sex. At a minimum.
Within
at a minimum.
feet of the church.
Yeah, within the 1,000 feet of the church, which is a felony in itself. So, at minimum, that's what it is. All right? At minimum. So, I'm giving you an opportunity.
I don't know if this is real or not, but he could have there's a likelihood, there's a non-zero chance that like he played a role in some of those state laws being written and voted for them. Like drug possession or prostitution near a church. Like, I'm not going to look it up right now, but I would not be surprised if he literally wrote some of that or absolutely voted for some of those laws.
Here, and he told me I shouldn't, but I am. I'm giving you an opportunity to do it. To take responsibility for it and make it a little bit easier on yourself.
At this point, we can see a multitude of tactics coming together, albeit with minimal effect. 1. You-facing language as discussed. 2. Futility technique. There's nothing you can do to change your situation, and the best way to get through this.
In February 2017, Shorty came under public criticism for trying to retighten the state drug laws in Oklahoma. Voters had voted to loosen in November 2016. Arguing that voters did not consider the consequences of their vote, Shorty introduced a bill to increase the penalties for drug possession within 1,000 feet of a church or school, which Oklahoma voters had voted to classify as a misdemeanor instead of a felony. Wow.
Blunts are trash, you baby zoomers need to get a good glass bong.
No way. It's so crazy, dude. It's not. It's not crazy at all. If you know how Republicans are, you know this. Just like, what's his face? Lost a fucking lawsuit against friend of the show, Will Menaker. On behalf of... What was the fucking lawsuit? I forget everybody's name here. God damn it. I forgot the fucking lawsuit that was,